Hello, and welcome to another bonus cast from the Bomb Squad podcast. I am Tim M. Sullivan, and with me I have.
Ethan Hawker.
And I am back from war. Tanner Richard Kraft. I'm sick, so I apologize if I cough in advance.
Fair enough. And we
And
have a special guest.
I'm Angie Hachiman.
Glad to have you back once again.
Oh, glad to be back.
All right. So, today we are going to be talking about the new Mamoru Hosoda film, Belle, which this is our first opportunity we've had to talk about a new release anime movie, so I thought that this would be a good one to take advantage of that with, because this one has a lot of critical acclaim going for it. It has a very notable director. I believe, was this one nominated for Best Animated Feature?
Those awards aren't out yet for the Oscars, but I'm pretty sure it was nominated at the Golden Globes and the Critics' Choice Awards. So the chances are high it's going to get an Academy Award nomination too.
Yeah, so it's got some award buzz going for it. So I think this is a good one to talk about. And like I said, this was directed by Mamoru Hosoda. He's a very notable anime director, particularly anime film director. He's made a bunch of stuff like Summer Wars, Wolf Children, Boy and the Beast, a couple other films. He's pretty successful director, and a lot of people like his works. And I guess just for our opening questions, just kind of talk about our history with Hosoda's works and any kind of expectations we had going into this one. We'll start with Ethan.
Yeah, so I really loved Digimon the movie, which it was probably evident by now, I'm sure. Um, and of course, he directed two of the films which were used in that: the Digimon Adventure pilot film, and the Digimon Adventure Our War Game 40-minute like pseudo feature, quote unquote. Not quite feature length. Which I love those, and I eventually watched them in their original Japanese language, and not their Ska-ified incarnations, their Fox Kids incarnations. Don't you
The
start?
good version.
Don't you start?
It's been.
Um, I love his work on key animation for Crying Freeman, episodes 6 and 5, and let me look through his credits list on Anime News Network a little bit here now. No, I've seen The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Summer Wars, both of which I like a lot. I own Wolf Children and Boy and the Beast, but I have yet to watch them or Mirai, unfortunately. But they're very much on the docket. And I was really excited for Belle, with its cool visual style. But I think he's a very interesting director who's kind of revisiting cool ideas he's had in the past with Belle. He has this real obsession with virtual realities and that sort of thing, which is probably one of the things that was in his work that I've glommed onto the most. I think he's very good at visualizing that whole aesthetic. Like I loved like the red lines he uses for all the line work, especially in a lot of his films, but in particular when it's played against like his white digital spaces. I think it just looks like it really pops. But yeah, so I'm going into this as a Hosoda fan. I don't want it to come across like I dislike him or that I think he's a bad director at all. If that isn't too telling about my opinions on the film.
You have to preempt your opinion that much, huh?
A little bit. We'll get into it though. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, that's a good start. Tanner, why don't you give us your storied history with this notable director who's made several of your favorite films?
I watched the Digimon movie when I was 7 once.
Thank you, Tanner. Very cool. Angie.
Wait, my expectations! The only expectations I had was that it had glowing reviews, Oscar buzz, and then Ethan and Tim both said, it's fine. I literally knew nothing about the movie going in other than I somehow got into an argument about whether or not it was a musical without having seen it already. That was kind of fun. I knew there were songs, and I knew it was from the country of Japan. Wait, hold on. It is from Japan, right?
Yeah, it is from Japan.
I didn't want to be like, what if it's South Korean? And I didn't know. I wanted to be
Yeah,
sure.
I guess that is that's a good segue, because technically there was some consultation. Disney designers helped with the design of Belle, and the background design.
Oh, I wonder why.
And the background design for you was actually handled by Cartoon Saloon, who do.
I know those ones.
Yeah, you know those ones. Who most notably did The Secret of the Kells and Wolf Walkers and Song of the Sea.
I know that one.
And yeah, they're a really impressive animation studio. So it is sort of an international collaboration of people working together. But yes, primarily it's a Japanese film handled by Studio Chizu, which is Hosoda's sort of...
The director is Japanese, though.
Yes, the director is Japanese.
Yes,
Mamoru
that's what I
Hosoda
thought.
is a Japanese man, and Studio Chizu is his Japanese studio.
Listen, no, I never want to be confident, because what if I'm wrong?
Yeah, that's fair. You are wrong a lot. All right.
Yeah, that's the joke.
But you're right on this.
Yes, on this one you're good. Yeah. Angie.
All right. Yes.
I'm
Angie,
sorry.
Alright.
let's go over your history, because I know you're a big Hosoda fan. I think you've seen pretty much everything he's made besides his Digimon and One Piece stuff.
Yeah, that is correct. I've seen all of his like standalone films, so I haven't seen anything that's related to um any other like popular properties like Digimon or anything like that. But I did see all his other films. The first one I saw was The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and I think that was my first non-Ghibli anime movie I ever watched. Cause I think I mentioned this before, but I used to think that like Ghibli was it. That was, there was no other like anime studios that made anime movies for whatever reason.
Yeah, I love
So
my favorite Ghibli movie is Pokemon, the first movie.
Mine's Redline.
well, I was young at the time, so I was a little stupid.
It'd be like that sometimes.
So say we all.
But yeah, I actually watched The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and this was like I actually watched it on YouTube. Weirdly enough, this was like a time where I guess they didn't have as strict like copyright regulations, and they finally like got rid of the 10-minute like limit for videos, and someone just straight up uploaded the entire movie to YouTube, and I watched it that way. But it wasn't until like a year or so later that I was actively looking for tearjerkers. I was like, I want to cry. Somebody recommend me like a movie that's gonna make me cry. And someone recommended Wolf Children. And I watched that and I cried. And I was like, dang, this is good. I want to watch more stuff like this. So I looked into it and found out that it was directed by Mamoru Hosoda, and that he directed The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which was a movie I had watched prior and liked, and that he had another movie called Summer Wars, and so I was like, I gotta watch that now. And so then I watched all of those, and at that time, Boy and the Beast was coming out, and it was going to be showing in theaters here in the US. And I think that was the first anime movie I went to see in theaters as well. So I got to go see Boy and the Beast in theaters, and then I really liked that one. I honestly think Boy and the Beast might be one of his best movies, and Wolf Children's definitely one of my favorites. I always go back to that one. And then I also saw Mirai in theaters, and I got to see that one both in English and in Japanese in theaters when it came out. So yeah, I mean, you could say I am a pretty big fan of Hosoda. There was something about his work that resonated with me more so than Ghibli, which I that might be um, what's the word? Like, people probably be like, "How
Yeah.
dare you? Ghibli is the best
Sacrilege.
anime."
Blasphemy.
Yeah, exactly. But Hosoda always struck a chord with me more personally, on a personal level. So I was always more drawn to his movies. So I guess in a way you could say my expectations for Belle were high, even though I tried to like temper my expectations. I didn't really want to go in, you know, having any expectations because I think you kind of enjoy movies a little bit better that way. Um, but you know, with my history of pretty much liking everything he's did, there was some expectations there, and also, um, I was aware that it was kind of based off Beauty and the Beast, which is one of my favorite fairy tales, one of my favorite Disney movies. So that also added to the expectations going in.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. I guess my kind of history with Hosoda. I think my first movie of his that I watched was Summer Wars, which I watched probably like a year or two after it came out in the States. And I've always really enjoyed that one. That's probably the one I've watched the most times. Might not necessarily be my favorite. My favorite might be Boy and the Beast. I haven't watched it in a while, but I remember really liking that one. And like The Girl Who Left Through Time was one of those movies that like I had been aware of it for a long time before I watched it, but I watched that one and I really liked it. Um, and Wolf Children I actually watched with you, Angie, for the first time, and I remember enjoying it when we were watching it together. Um, and then I think Mirai is that the only one I haven't
Yeah,
mentioned.
yeah.
Yeah, Mirai was one that like when I watched it, I liked aspects of it. I think at the time it was my least favorite of his movies, just because the plot is it's not really like plot or character. It's character driven, but it's more just like seeing like just various events happening with these characters, and it doesn't have like one like central point. It's just kind of watching this character have these experiences, which I think it has, I think it does like show like his ability to do really good character work, because like the main character feels very much like a real child because he has that like perfect cute to annoying ratio, perfectly balanced out, which is something that a lot of
Just like me for real.
yeah, I think that's something that a lot of movies struggle with, is getting that balance just right, and he does it really well. Um, with that experience, just kind of going into Belle, I thought that this movie looked interesting. Like it looked like a kind of an interesting evolution with his ideas that he explored in the Digimon movie, our war game, and with Summer Wars, is just kind of like taking that kind of digital space concept and evolving it to the next level. And so, with that in mind, let's talk about our thoughts on the film. We're gonna start with Angie.
Me first. Oh, okay. So I guess it's complicated. I well, I guess to kind of sum it up, I was a little bit disappointed. Um, and like I said, it was probably a mixture of having high expectations and then not having. I didn't have an ideal viewing experience either. I watched it at like 10:30 at night, and the people who were in the theater with me were kind of obnoxious. So it took that ended up taking me out um, of the movie a little bit. And I feel like I was kind of robbed of having like a full immersive experience with it. So, but, but, I guess to, but it's a little bit messy. I think that's, a good way to describe it. It seemed like there was a lot of different ideas going on, and because there were so many different things going on, I felt like nothing was fully developed. And I think that's what I kind of wish that we had a little bit more of, like some more development on the characters or ideas, or the character relationships, because I felt like we didn't get enough of any of it to really, you know, I don't know, to get kind of get me invested in it, to like get me invested completely, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked the character designs though. I was actually kind of sad we didn't get to see a lot more of like the other characters, like in the scenes where they're in the virtual reality space and you see all the different designs of like the avatars. I think a lot of those like character designs are really cool looking and interesting looking. And even some of um the quick character when they were going around and showing all the different people from around the world. I thought those were some interesting looking characters too. I was really impressed to see like black characters in an anime. So I thought that was really cool. Other than that, like I don't have much to say about the story. It kind of there wasn't anything that really connected for me. There was some cool ideas there, like with the main character and her past with her mother. I think that was actually thematically one of like the better parts of the movie that really and I was surprised because I at first I thought that was going to be the part that was going to kind of stick out, but it ended up blending in with the story a lot more than the supposed Beauty and the Beast aspect to it. So yeah, I was a little bit disappointed because I it was supposed to be like an adaptation of Beauty and the Beast.
Tanner, you know you can mute your mic.
And I was kind of disappointed that there wasn't really like a developed romance, so to speak, between the between Belle and the Beast. I kind of didn't really understand their relationship too much, and I also didn't really understand how the you social media virtual reality like thing worked. There was some stuff that was really confusing, like their whole like little police system and like I don't know. It was so I get weirdly into like logic in the weirdest spaces at the weirdest times, and this is one of the ones where I wanted the virtual reality world to actually make sense. There was nothing about it that made any sense to me, so I don't know if any of my thoughts made any sense, like, so I'll pass it on to someone else. Maybe they have some clearer thoughts than I do.
All right, Ethan, take it from here.
If you would like to know my thoughts on the hit film Belle by director Mamoru Hosoda,
I swear
you can
to
go
God, this
to
guy's plugging his own
you
review.
can go to zeekfilm.org/01/belle-2021/film-review/
You're banned. You're banned.
To-
You're done. in
to
this
read
town,
my
okay? You're
thoughts
done.
on Mamoru Hosoda's Belle. Again, that's zeekfilm.org for no, no,
This time, I'm really gonna do it.
no. So, I think the problem with Belle is it's not like a simmering mediocre or anything is a big thing. It's that it has really good parts. It's just they don't really come together very well as a whole. Is how I describe it, because I think like the pastoral human stuff, like the stuff in the real world where people are sort of hanging out and talking to one another, that works. Like that's charming. But like the transitions to you, they occur with a clunk, particularly if they're like away from home, away from a computer, and they do it. Something about it, like just the way it cuts from Suzu's like home life stuff to her in the Beast's castle. It doesn't really work for me. I don't love the Beast's castle. It's sort of stock fantasy in a lot of ways. It's very pretty in its way, but it's not terribly inventive for what we have here. Like the digital, I kind of like the minimalist digital space that Hosoda uses in his other films, and I respect him for doing something kind of different. And that there are times I like the less minimalist stuff, like when Belle is sort of being jockeyed around to like false beast castles until finally being led to the real one. Those are nice. Those are a bit more creative. Um, but the Beauty and the Beast, the actual like Beauty and the Beast story there, it's integrated poorly. I think like it feels very tacked on and hackneyed. I can't tell you. Like my eyes were rolling out of their skull at Gaston. Um, I don't know why that annoyed me, and it did like it doesn't like don't get me wrong, like I kind of like the virtual cops just because like 2/3 of them are furries, which I don't know why. I find that like just furries in jumpsuits, and I find that very amusing. I don't know why, especially when Belle
Well, it's a jumpsuit and a jumpsuit.
when Belle is being like surrounded by three furries just looming over. I don't know why. The imagery of that kind of killed me. Um, but
Someone needs to make that, but like with one of those things, it's like nice opinion. Unfortunately, your IP address.
yeah, that'd be good. No, like it's got so many good ideas in it. Like I think the human drama is good, and the concept of you and the concept of commenting on like social media and that sort of thing is good. The problem is it barely comments on it. Like you see people live streaming and that sort of thing, and it feels like there's a central point, but like it just keeps getting distracted by its own ideas. It feels like a script in desperate need of a couple more drafts, and I think it would have really been there, and really would have had something really concrete and cool to say. But like that third act where we learned the beast's identity, it's interesting. Like I'm kind of glad it wasn't Suzu's initial her major love interest. Like I get it, like they are pulling a bait and switch, but the reveal doesn't really hit for me very hard. It's kind of like I respect not trying to do a traditional love story angle and making it a bit more like kind of familial in a way, or like in a way a character can relate to something, but like it undercuts itself at like every turn. Like when Suzu's like, I can be myself, and you have that great stuff because like I love Belle, and I think all the like the character Belle, like her character animation and how they're able to do make her look like a 2D character so well throughout runtime of the film. Like it looks great, despite the fact they're using CG. And I don't know, Japanese CG in Japanese animation, like obviously it's come a long way with like Lupin the Third, the First, and even Earwig to an extent. But I think this is something that's like that, but also very stylized and cool in a really distinct way. And I honestly really think CGI Suzu looks spectacular too. And then at the very end, when they swap her out and have her be Belle as she concludes her big musical number, where she's like, I can be me, I can sing as myself. And then not only do they swap her out, at like CGI Suzu with Belle, they don't even give us something new. They reuse the whale and the same dress from the opening of the film. So it's like, I get wanting to kind of come back to something, but you're like, it doesn't really sell me on spectacle because now you're just swapping it out and showing me something I've already seen. It's frustrating in a way. Like it feels like that's something that would have been caught during another draft. And I don't want to say I think if I didn't think there was a lot of good in it, I don't think I would be that frustrated with it as I am. And like it's a film I'm going to get. Like I want to get it on video mostly just so I can watch like behind the scenes stuff on it. Like I've been seeing G Kids posting a lot of that, and I think it's so interesting, like what they were doing with Belle, where like for different angles they have like different models for her face, and that sort of thing, which isn't terribly uncommon nowadays, I suppose, but like it's cool, it's neat. But I think that really sums it up. It's a film that is less than the sum of its parts, and deeply frustrating, but I admire its technical craft on a lot of levels, and I admire so many of the moments. I just wish Hosoda didn't kind of get in his own way, or had a co-writer like he did for his first couple features. That might help. Somebody to kind of rein him in a little bit more, because he's just sort of doing that classic director of animated films thing, where he's indulging in visual splendor at the extent of narrative. in a way that's like not even that, because the narrative is so close to being good. Like if the narrative was a nothing burger, at least I could kind of turn off my brain and enjoy it. But there's something there. There's something really cool here. It's just not quite there, which is frustrating. I've said frustrating so many times, and that's sort of my thoughts. But I
You're banned from saying that word
yes.
now.
but I did enjoy it in its way, and I'll leave it at that because I've gone on far too long about this film that I have a lot of weird thoughts about. I did enjoy.
You enjoyed it? You could have fooled me.
Sorry.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. It was right there for the taking.
He talked about his enjoyments of it.
Yeah, with but it's like how when you're supposed to critique something, you're supposed to put something nice and something mean. It's like he would say 9 mean things and then say, and then this thing was okay, but then sneak something mean into the okay thing.
The critique sandwich,
Yeah.
It's just like when in directing class when the other students critique your film for the first time.
Yes.
And they just pile on.
But anyway, Tanner, be our anchor of positivity. Tell us your thoughts on the movie.
So, Ethan, you said you described this movie as less than the sum of its parts and frustrating, right?
Yes.
I think this film is more than the sum of its parts and incredibly satisfying. And I'm not just saying that to be antithetical to Ethan. That is genuinely how I feel about it. I think y'all are on, crack or something. I don't know. I thought this was awesome. And that's not to say I don't have flaws with it. As a matter of fact, I want to get my flaws out of it right away. It's really messy in the third act. And Ethan tapped into the big thing that really upset me, which is when she transforms back to Belle. I was live. Ethan can vouch for me on this. I was texting him live as I was reacting to the third act. And I was really like, yeah, the whale! The whale! Why is she Belle again? You remember that, Ethan?
Yeah.
Just mid-sentence, why is she Belle again? Because the whole point of that sequence is supposed to be her, finally feeling comfortable in her own skin. Why is she reverting back to not her own skin? Kind of thing. That didn't hit right for me. I also think once the movie introduced the abuse plot, it was very messy with it in a way. It probably should have been tighter considering the themes at hand. That's a smart person thing to say, right, Ethan?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure, you fucking nerd. But beyond that, it wasn't even really the visual spectacle. I'm not to say that it's not a visual feast for the eyes. It is, but that just wasn't really what stood out to me. It was the character writing, as it is with most things I really like. It's characters usually, and I really like the characters in this one. I couldn't name any of them, but I'm just not good with names. But that's not a mark against the movie. I just don't remember names well. Like the redhead in the call. I have no idea who the fuck he is.
My name's Ethan, still? Tanner. God.
Oh, is your hair red?
Is my palm red?
What?
All right, so go on. That's a better punchline that I could have asked for.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm trying not to cough. It's almost like I'm sick. I don't know. I love Suzu as a main character, and I really do enjoy the arc she goes on from being this girl that's just so unsure. What was funny?
It was just the way you said girl.
Ethan, you don't understand. I'm a material girl. Anyway, a girl unsure of herself. Just people that lack confidence and then gain confidence over the
Tanner, stop crumpling.
Beat drop.
Crumpling the plastic.
I didn't even know that was plastic. I like you too, buddy. Anyway, starting off as someone who wasn't confident, and then just slowly gaining confidence in themselves, but ultimately to push forward for the sake of someone they care about. Like when she was unveil me, which I just want to say, the first 7 times they said unveil, I kept misreading the subtitle as unalive, which made those things read really different to me.
I'm gonna unalive you.
I thought it was some weird censor thing, and I didn't quite understand. But then, like, around the 7th time, it said unveil, and I went, oh, I get it now. It's not a death thing. Me at a baby shower. It's not a death thing. And at the moment of when she's like, unveil me, because I need to. There's someone I need who needs to see this, and she basically like comes all over. Oh my god! What the?
There it is.
This is coming out of nowhere. What
Not
the hell?
waterworks.
It's not on purpose.
No, I know. It's okay, buddy.
This one we can partially blame the panorama.
Yeah.
Like we established this in the Pokemon podcast that I think's coming out after this one. I'm more susceptible to crying when I'm sick. So I just found it to be a really powerful moment, but again, that powerful moment was undercut by why does she turn back to Belle? I don't get it. Other than that, I thought the way that the Beauty and the Beast storyline and the outside, I thought that blended very well. Like I understand.
Please stop doing that.
That's what you sound like.
Okay. Go on.
I thought it blended really well. I thought it felt well integrated to me, because the way I saw it is that at first, chasing after who the Beast is, trying to figure out who he is, that's just an escape for her from a life she doesn't really like. And then it slowly turns into something more. And that I bought. But also, I was also texting this, because I didn't know this is a Beauty and the Beast adaptation. And I texted Ethan, is it just me, or does, like, the demon's design look a lot like Beast from Beauty and the Beast? And the bedroom looks really familiar too. And then the ballroom scene happens and I went, oh, that's explicit. I think it's the same shot. Is it the same shot?
Very close.
It's close, right?
It's so close that it's functionally identical.
Yeah. And, like, you have to understand, if you were to ask me what my favorite Disney movie is, I usually give you one of three answers. The Lion King, Wreck-It Ralph, or Beauty and the Beast. I love Beauty and the Beast. So I really love that whole sequence and the kind of recontextualization of it into the VR type of space, which I think really sort of puts this modern edge to it that I really enjoy. And Justin is one of the greatest villains in cinema history, just because the way he talks. Do anime villains talk like that all the time? Because I'll start watching more anime if they do.
Yeah, to be frank, I think that's kind of why you like this movie so much, is because you're not super familiar with anime archetypes and that sort of thing. Because
that was your take on Megazone 2-3, was that, like,
you really liked BD.
BD was basically like a magnificent bastard character, and we were all just like, oh yeah, he's typical anime villain guy, and you're just like, he's really interesting.
Yeah, like, I like BD, but yeah, I think.
Well, I'm gonna go out of my way to keep not exposing myself to anime, so movies like this I like.
Yeah, but you'll like those.
You're doing the.
Okay.
Actually, no. I still like the MCU after all this time. I don't think it'll matter.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll matter, Ethan. I don't think it will.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't make me any less sad.
I like things that not. I'm just happier than
I
you.
know. Ignorance is bliss.
But overall.
Guys.
Those are my final words. I'm just happier than you.
What a note to go out on, though. Let's be honest.
God.
That's like some HR Giger stuff. Just like, I accomplished everything I want. I'm head out.
I'm a head out, boys. It's been real.
Revolutionary girl would not ask death. He just explodes into a bunch of flower petals. I'm just happy.
I wanted to say confetti.
Funfetti sprinkles for your cupcake.
You have to vacuum them after.
Belle.
So Tanner, what'd you think about the movie?
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't take my ADHD meds today because I could barely
Tanner,
get
go,
off
go.
the couch. So, I liked Belle a lot. I've seen 123 2021 releases. I ranked this 31st. So I liked it a lot. It's not the best anime movie I saw in 2021 though. That goes to Josie and the Tigerfish. Because whenever Ethan tells me to watch something, he's usually right.
Love when Tanner gets the name of the things he likes wrong. All right.
What is it?
It's
Wait,
Josie,
what is
the
it?
tiger, and the fish. Not Josie, the tiger fish. He's still going. Fully.
I'm sorry. I'm really trying to calm
God, that
down.
Amber Alert the other day was about Tanner, wasn't it? It's fully Joker-fied.
So much.
Unlistenable.
Oh my god, what the fuck just came out of my throat? Tim, go ahead before I ruin myself.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. That was fun. All right. So yeah, I guess my thoughts are sort of on the same tracks as Angie's and Ethan's. Is that like? So I watched this twice. I watched it on the 12th for the like early IMAX release, and then I watched it the other night dubbed. So I've seen it both subbed and dubbed. And my first time watching it, I definitely thought it was very messy. I had just kind of trouble kind of connecting all the stuff. It just felt like a lot. And I think the second time I watched it, it kind of clicked for me a little bit more. So it might just be one of those movies you have to watch it a couple times to really fully appreciate it. I don't know. I do think that yeah, some things could have been fleshed out a little more, kind of like what Ethan was saying. Like, given a couple more writing passes, it could have been a really good movie. And I think that this is a movie that has a lot of good aspects to it that just could have been better. And like yeah, like we've been saying, the visual spectacle of it is incredible. It might be one of the best, just like visually appealing movies that Hosoda has done. I think just like on a visual level, this might be one of the best ones. And the characters, there's a lot to enjoy about them. I think that they could maybe been fleshed out a little bit more in some parts. And I do think that there was a lot going for it. It didn't quite connect, but yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. One of the things that I enjoyed about it was I enjoyed how like the Beast character, like I was kind of talking about how he's great with character work and just like little subtle things. I enjoyed how the Beast character, like he gave off this air that I picked up on almost immediately of just like being an angsty kid and not just like a monster. Like he just had this air to him that was like this is an angsty teen. This isn't like one of these grown ass men that everybody thinks it is. And then it turned out to be that was the case. He's just like he's a kid in a bad living situation, and he had lots of angst, and that showed through really well. And so I think that kind of helped the payoff in the end. And I did enjoy the villain character. Like I loved like seeing all the little sponsors come up behind him because it reminded me of Tiger and Bunny, which that's just like an anime about superheroes that all have sponsors. So they just have like these suits with like Amazon and Namco Bandai logos all over their suits. So that just kind of reminded me of that, and I thought that was funny. Um, yeah, lots of fun stuff in there like that. And I think that both the Japanese version and the English version, they both have very good voice casts. Like the Japanese version, very good voice cast. The dub was actually pretty solid. One of the better, I think, movie dubs I've seen in a while. It's pretty good. Trying to think of. I feel like pretty much everything's been touched on. So yeah, I mean it's not a bad movie. I think I enjoyed it the second time around a little bit more than the first time. But I do think it's probably my least favorite of his works, and like he's a very good filmmaker, so it's still like it's not just an absolute train wreck. It's there's a lot of good stuff there.
It's not like when I make a bad movie.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of good stuff there. It's just it doesn't quite feel like it connects. But I think yeah, in review, I didn't have as much issue with it the second time as I did the first time. Yeah, I guess that's basically it. So move on to our last question, which is our thoughts on the music. And obviously, this is a movie that has a big focus on the music because
no way.
it's about a singer. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I'll talk a bit about the music. The character of Suzu in the Japanese version, she was played by Kaho Nakamura, and in the English dub, she was played by Kylie McNeil. Kaho Nakamura was chosen specifically by Hosoda because she's a relatively unknown actress who had a really good talent with singing, and he got Kaho involved with the writing of the lyrics so that she could really like feel the lyrics as she was singing them. And we'll talk about some of the people involved in the composition and producing. So the soundtrack was produced by a man named Taisei Iwasaki. He's known for such titles as Love Strikes, The Naked Director, Joker Game, and Blood Blockade Battlefront. That title's hard to say when your mouth is dry.
Yo, that's my favorite 80s arcade game.
There you go. And some additional composers include Ludwig Forssell, who is most known for his work on Metal Gear Solid 5 and Death Stranding, and Yuta Bando, who is a relatively new up-and-coming composer. Some of his works include Children of the Sea and a movie that I think is still in theaters called Pupel of Chimney Town, which that's actually a pretty solid movie. I would recommend checking it out. I didn't expect much going into it, but I ended up really enjoying it. So if you get a chance, go check out Pupel of Chimney Town. So yeah, had a good set of people working on the soundtrack. So what are your thoughts on the music? We'll start with Tanner.
I don't remember any of the songs, but I do remember liking them.
Thank you, Tanner. Very cool. Ethan.
No, straight up. When songs are in a foreign language, unless they're like the Macarena, they don't stick. Listen. I'm stupid. It's not a discrimination thing. I'm just dumb.
Yeah. I just don't care about other cultures. I get it. So I liked the music quite a bit.
Hold on.
The soundtrack was definitely a highlight. I like the I like basically all of Belle's vocal tracks and even the score. It's a little bit comparatively understated when sort of juxtaposed against those vocal numbers. It's not like a true blue musical in a lot of ways. It's good about centering its plot around music without necessarily being that. But it does include a good chunk of really enjoyable, peppy, for the most part, J-pop music. You get, your requisite ballad as well. It is a soundtrack I will probably end up revisiting at some point as well, just because I did like it enough for it to kind of stick in my brain. Like, I think about it a lot. I hum tunes every now and again, particularly the opening song. Very catchy. I cannot name that just because I haven't revisited it since I watched, so I wouldn't be able to give you like track names or anything. But I liked everything I heard in it overall, and that's sort of it. Just good.
Nice. Angie, thoughts on the soundtrack? I believe you just listened to it earlier today.
I did actually listen to all of it. It's very good. So I'm a fan of music anime, so I like animes that have songs and stuff attached to them. And a lot of it's like J-pop kind of stuff. So I actually really like the music from this. I agree, the opening song's probably like the best one. It's really catchy, and it's kind of different from normal uh, music I hear in anime. So I really liked that. I kind of regret not seeing the movie in English because they have all of they have a totally separate soundtrack for the English version. Um, like the background music's all the same, but anything that has vocals, they redid it with her
Hmm.
English actress, and it sounds just as good as the Japanese
Hmm.
songs. Um, and I kind of like think it might have been, more interesting and more uh what's it? I guess the music might have connected better when you hear it in your own like language. So the English version might have been really good. One of my pet peeves with animes is that they never translate the songs. So I was really happy to know that they went the extra step to do all of the soundtracks in English for the English version, which shows their dedication to producing like good music for the movie. So I love the music. I'm into musicals type animes, so I liked it.
Nice. Yeah, I guess yeah, my thoughts are it's definitely a very good soundtrack. I listened to it on Spotify a few weeks ago, before even watching the movie, and I listened to like all the Hosoda movie soundtracks, and they all he has a very good ear for music. He gets some very good music in his films, and this one had like obviously a bigger focus on music, so I think it really hammered it in very well with this one. And like you were mentioning, the English dub has a re-recorded version of the soundtrack. So Kylie McNeil, the voice actress who played Suzu/Belle in the dub, she did all the songs in English, and she did a really good job. And that's kind of like rare when they redo a song in English for the dub, and it's actually like really well sung. So I have to appreciate that on that level. She Kyla did a really good job. So thank you. Very cool. Good on ya. Yeah. Overall, it's a really good score that I think really fits well with the tone of the movie, and it is it's very impactful and emotional when it needs to be, and yeah, it's just very good soundtrack. Yeah. So I think that's gonna basically do it for us. Final thoughts on the film. We'll start with Ethan.
Yeah, my final thoughts are. I'll keep it brief since I kind of got a lot out there earlier, but basically, I was frustrated by it, but I still think it's strong. Like I still recommend seeking it out, especially while it's in theaters, because it is a film that so wonderfully uses spectacle, and the auditory experience as well is so well complemented. I got me and Tim both. We went to the same screening actually, sort of serendipitously, and it was in IMAX with wonderful sound. That is sort of I'm really wowed by films in IMAX such a big way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think particularly the audio is well suited to the format. um,
Yeah.
but so I do recommend that if it is still in theaters, which especially if it gets nominated for an Oscar, I imagine it will be.
Mm-hmm.
They always nominate at least one film from
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah, this is sort of the front runner for that. But it's got a lot of issues. I'm looking forward to seeing what Hosoda does in the future. Like I'm not going to write him off just for one bad film, one not even bad film, but just one frustrating film. Um, and I hope he's a bit more willing to let someone kind of review his work moving forward, because I think it'll be stronger as a result. But he's still probably one of the great
Mm-hmm.
directors of anime. And a cool guy. What makes good movies I like Digimon the movie. Uh, yeah.
It's been.
Nice. Yeah, and you're mentioning the IMAX. Unfortunately, like the IMAX screenings seem to be very limited. Like I'm just glad that we had like one that was near us because the other ones I was seeing, like I was contemplating doing a 4 hour drive just to see it in IMAX. And that would have been
I
especially frustrating if it ended up just being like, yeah, that was all right, I guess. Uh,
I heard that it was only a couple dozen screens across the country, but that could be
yeah,
wrong.
yeah, no, it's very limited.
Like basically one for every major market and then two for New York.
Right. So I'm just glad that we had that early IMAX screening at
Mhm.
Ronnie's that we could go to very conveniently. Um,
You drove 4 hours, jeez.
so yeah, Tanner, final thoughts.
Oh man, I had something clever to say.
That's not true.
Um,
Damn it. I'm kidding.
yeah, it's really darn good. It's just outside my top 30 for the year.
What a
Nice.
note to end on.
Just it's just outside my dies. No, it's just outside my top 30 for the God, I hope I do die recording a podcast. That'd be a hella cool way to go out. So it's just outside my top 30 for the year, literally number 31. Not the best new anime movie I saw in 2021. That'd be Josie and the Tiger. Nope. Josie, the Tiger, and
We
the
got him.
Fish. I'm learning. Ethan doubles back in fear. Dear God, he's learning. The Digimon is digivolving. No, it's becoming braided.
Oh no, he's
Shut
about
up,
to watch
Tanner.
Catsup.
No, not cat soup.
What the hell is cat soup?
You'll learn when you're older. You'll understand when you're older.
I'm never gonna grow up. Anyway, and fun fact by the way, Ethan. The short list for the best animated feature for the Oscars came out, and I believe the only two anime movies was this and Josie and the Tiger and the Fish, or Josie the Tiger and the Fish. These are the two only Japanese possibilities right now, and this is the one that got a far wider release. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
just throwing that out there. But no, I liked it. It's good. I think it's very funny that I spoke so eloquently, beautifully on it. Not beautifully long, but then proceeded to say I don't remember the music. But that's not to say the music was bad. It was good. I just don't remember it. I'm
Fair
sick.
enough.
I don't think you can hold that against me. Back to you, Tim.
Fair enough. That holds up in the court of law.
Oh, thank God I ain't going to jail.
Angie, final thoughts on Belle.
My final thoughts were I liked the music, I liked the character designs. The story was a little bit, disconjointed, and I wish they spent a little bit more time uh developing some of the ideas, because as mentioned as everyone mentioned, the ideas are there. They just needed to be, um a little bit fleshed out, I guess. But I don't hate it or anything like that. It's one of those ones where I really want to see it in English now. So one day in the future I'll probably rewatch the English
Mhm.
dub and probably have a whole new perspective on it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I guess my final thoughts. Yeah, basically to sum it up. Yeah, it's a movie with a lot of strong aspects that it has its issues. It doesn't quite hold together, but it has like some very strong moments. Like one moment I wanted to mention, but I forgot to mention earlier. Just like that climactic scene where she goes to find the kids and protect them, and just this image of this grown man trying to like grab this girl and like pulls on her face, and then she just kind of stands in front of him like a statue, and blood streaking down her face, and he screams at her and she just stays there. Like that's a really powerful image. I think that might be like the strongest part of the movie for me, was just like seeing that. It's very unrealistic. It's about as realistic as the ending of Punch Drunk Love, but you still love it like Punch Drunk Love because it makes you feel things. um, so yeah, I think it has a lot going for it in the emotions category, where it's very, it wears its emotions on its sleeve, and you have to admire it for that. So yeah, that I think is gonna do it for this cast. Angie, once again, thank you for joining us. Is there anything you'd like to promote?
No, I don't have anything, not yet at least. But not to give anyone high hopes, but I always love coming up on this podcast anytime we talk about anime, so
Yeah.
I hope to keep coming back.
Yeah, we'll for sure have you back on some future casts. Always a pleasure. So yeah, that's gonna do it for us. Thank you for tuning in. If you are listening on any of the audio platforms, please leave a review because it boosts us in the algorithms and such and whatnot buzzwords. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm glad that you enjoyed the waveforms. We enjoy throwing it into After Effects and making the waveform happen. Uh, yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. Leave a comment below. Let us know, what did you think about Belle? What do you think of Mamoru Hosoda's movies in general? Um, yeah, other things, let us know. And then also go ahead and leave a like if you liked the video. Give us a subscribe if you want to see more of our videos, and then hit the bell icon so that you can get the cha-ching cha-ching notifications when we upload our shit. uh Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Farewell.
Farewell.
They slid my ticket across the table and I said, "Sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl."